Hey everyone, it's Alex Stevenson here on our rooftop at Ninja Teacher Academy, and today I wanted to do a video on why you should invest in experiences and education instead of stuff. So what got me thinking about this was all the Black Friday stuff going on right now. Lots of deals, lots of promotions from different companies. Sure, there's a certain amount of luxury items that you would want to have in your life, right? But really, when you think about it, what do you really need to get by? You need food and you need shelter. Those are the basic things you need for survival. And then over and above that, it's stuff that money can't buy, literally. It's friendships, relationships. When you look at all these Black Friday deals, maybe, yes, there's something that you've really been wanting or needing and it'll be on special, sure, go for it. But a lot of the time, it's stuff that you really don't actually need. And why I'm bringing this up is that in our consumer culture, we get a thrill and a fix out of getting something new, buying something exciting, but it's short-lived. It doesn't last very long. And I'm sure you've heard this whole argument like, buying stuff is never gonna make you happy. Well, what is the alternative to that? Now, I think something that people don't really consider is investing in experiences and something that you wouldn't be able to get in a different day and age, such as living abroad. So obviously that's gonna be what we're talking about here at Ninja Teacher. We talk about living and teaching English in Vietnam and other countries. When you invest in experiences, you're getting so many other things that you won't get when you just buy an item, buy a product. And those things are stories. You'll meet interesting new people. You'll experience a different culture, try different foods. Sure, that's something you have to buy, but food in Vietnam is very cheap. And you'll go and see new places. Travel is also extremely cheap, and if you invest in moving to Vietnam and starting to teach here, you'll be earning a salary where you can afford to travel around. And I think it's totally crazy after doing this road trip that you might have seen some videos on this channel. Myself and Kyle went on a road trip all the way from here, Saigon, Vietnam, up to Hanoi. And I can hands down say that was one of the best experiences of my life. We calculated it was about $350 for a 10-day motorbike journey covering all expenses. And that is not a lot of money if you think about it, especially if you're earning a salary here in Vietnam, between $1,200 and $1,800, which doesn't sound like a lot overall, but when you see that shelter and food, those things you can get, under $500, if you're getting something a little bit nicer, maybe $600, $800, sure, but if you're earning that much, you've got a good amount of disposable income that you can spend on all these sorts of things, like travel, eating out, trying different things. And most of all, you're gonna just push yourself into a new experience. You'll push your comfort zones. You'll be doing something exciting and adventurous. And this is not something that people say, oh, I really regret going to Vietnam. Maybe 1 in 100. I don't know. Hardly anyone I've spoken to ever says, I really thought that was a terrible thing to do and a total waste of my money to go and get set up and start teaching in Vietnam. Now, why do I say investing in coming to teach in Vietnam? Well, obviously it costs money to start teaching in the sense of there's airfares, you need to get your TESOL or TEFL certification, you need to get documents authenticated. There are a number of startup costs. You need to have living expenses for a month, 2 months, depending on how long your job hunt takes to have enough money until you get paid. But then once you're earning that salary, then you can pay back all those expenses fairly quickly, and then any extra disposable income you have, you can spend on more experiences. And then, hey, if you want to buy some stuff too, go ahead and use that money to buy things. But why sit at home, spend your 2020 doing something that you don't enjoy. And this is, only the case if you're not doing something you particularly enjoy. A lot of people have jobs that they find very fulfilling and enjoy, and that's great. But if that's not you, then don't go and buy the latest iPhone. Spend that money on a program that helps you get started teaching English in Vietnam, get your TESOL certificate, and start teaching out here. And it's not only experiences, it's also your education. So I think this is something people overlook once they've gone through high school, college, university. They think they're done, right? They think, I've got my degree, yeah, maybe they'll go on to do a master's degree perhaps, but no one really considers spending more money on education. And I don't even like to say spending money, I say investing, because it's investing in yourself, in your education, in your future. And very few people want to do this for some reason, where I find it's the most worthwhile thing I could possibly do. And I've spent quite a lot of money on different courses and trainings, and I went and took a high quality in-person teacher training course, and I've taken a lot of different business courses to start up Ninja Teacher and invested in that stuff, and I don't regret it at all. I'd never say, oh, that was money not well spent. Spending money on education is one of the best things you can do, especially education that teaches you a skill. Like university degrees right now have less value than perhaps they did many years ago, but if you're taking some kind of training that will teach you to perform a skill that after that you can actually get employed in that field, that's something that's really worthwhile. And it's kind of amazing that you can come to Vietnam and take a 4-week teacher training course and then get a job at a reputable center in Vietnam teaching English and make a good salary based on the living costs. That's something that is unheard of in other professions, and it's not because it's not taken seriously here. It is. Education is huge in Vietnam. It's just that there's a high demand for English teachers here. So I'll leave you with those thoughts about Black Friday. If you're thinking of doing something interesting in 2020, consider maybe coming out to teach English abroad. Instead of buying something on Black Friday, put that money aside and save up, come out to Vietnam. Just to let you know, our program spots are filling up really fast for next year. Our first course, which starts at the beginning of February, is almost full. I think at the moment of recording we have 4 spots left, and then March, April, May, they're starting to fill up really quickly. So if you are planning to come out and do something in 2020, consider saving on Black Friday and come out to Vietnam to teach English instead. If that's something you want to do, I'll see you out in Vietnam. Otherwise, stay tuned for another video about life and teaching English in Vietnam, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.